Olá, amigos do Degustando Vinhos. Sejam bem-vindos a mais um programa. Hoje, mais um programa bem especial. Estou aqui em Saint-Estèphe e visitei a vinícola Phélan Ségur e fui recebido pela Verônica, que é a diretora-geral da vinícola. Essa vinícola linda. Degustamos 3 vinhos, fizemos uma degustação vertical e vale a pena assistir o programa. Com vocês o programa de hoje. Olá, amigos do Degustando Vinhos. Sejam bem-vindos a mais um programa e hoje estou aqui na vinícola Phélan Ségur, como a gerente geral aqui me ensinou a dizer direitinho. Temos que falar certo o nome das vinícolas na França. E fui muito bem recebido cordialmente pela Véronique, que é a gerente geral da vinícola. Veronique, very nice to meet you. I'm very glad to be here in the winery and welcome to our program. And I have only 2 questions for you. Firstly, tell us about the history of the winery. And after that, tell us about the wines that you produced here.
Thank you for visiting us, Federico. Thank you. So welcome to Château Phélan Ségur. We are in Bordeaux. We are on the left bank of Bordeaux in the Médoc, at the very north of the area. So you have, when you come from Bordeaux, the city of Bordeaux, you first have Margaux, then you have Listrac-Moulis, you have then Saint-Julien, Pauillac, and Saint-Estèphe. So we are in Saint-Estèphe. The history of the chateau is quite a unique history because we are Irish by origin. Like you said it very properly, Phélan Ségur. But originally speaking, I mean, the gentleman who actually created the chateau was called Bernard Phelan, and he was from Ireland. And it happens to be that there are a few chateaus in the area that were created by Irish gentlemen, like I'm sure you would know Lynch-Bages, Léoville-Barton, Kirwan, Clark. In Cognac, you would know Hennessy. So there are a bunch of Irish people who actually traveled to Bordeaux and started their own chateau. Mm-hmm. Now, we've always been family owned, which is a very, very important fact here. And we are in the hands of the great Belgian family called Vandevivre. So the gentleman who actually owns Phélan Ségur is Philippe Vandevivre.
Very good, very good. And what wines do you produce here?
Alors, we produce a wine made out of the appellation Saint-Estèphe. Mm-hmm. So you have to know that the appellation Saint-Estèphe is close to the big river called La Gironde, which is actually a big estuary going into the Atlantic Ocean. So we are close to the Atlantic Ocean. We are like less than an hour away north or 35 minutes west. And this river is a very important factor for us as a microclimate because we have tides here. So it brings fresher air or warmer air through the big amount, the big quantity, huge quantity of water coming from the ocean. You also have to think that we are near the ocean. So it's kind of oceanic climate. So it rains quite a lot in the area. So we produce on these beautiful hills, small hills, very small hills. The highest point is 30 meters high, but still, because the hills on the top, they kept the big gravels, which is what is very famous here in the Médoc, the big stones, you know, and it's a proper terroir for Cabernet Sauvignon, because Cabernet Sauvignon loves very well-drained soils. Yeah. So to make it very simple, we grow Cabernet Sauvignon on the top of the hills, okay? And because we are in Saint-Estèphe and it's a typicity of Saint-Estèphe, we also have in the soils quite a lot of clay, the finest elements.
Clay.
And clay retains water. It's a cooler soil. So we have and it's at the bottom of the hills. So we tend to grow Merlot at the bottom of the hills because Merlot, cope much better with colder soil, and wetter soils. And we also grow a little bit of Petit Verdot and Cabernet Franc. Voilà. So these are the 4 varietals that we grow here at Château Phélan Ségur. But it's a majority of Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah.
The wines in Saint-Estèphe, by nature, are powerful and very well structured, with a high level of tannins. So don't be afraid, okay, because of tannins. Because tannins is a very good thing as long as they are ripe and, velvety and browned and very well integrated. So think Saint-Estèphe, big wines, structured with a very nice tannin structure. In this world of Saint-Estèphe, Phélan Ségur has its own style, and I'm trying to make wines as with as much finesse as possible, with the best balance, with the greatest quality of tannins, with this elegance, not to add too much, tannins to natural identity of the appellation. Therefore, we are very, very cautious about the date of harvest, because Cabernet Sauvignon are late ripening in the area, so we try to harvest as late as possible so that the Cabernet Sauvignon are ripe. We try to monitor the extraction during the fermentation with as much precision as we can, okay, and as well with the maceration. We age Phélan Ségur, the Grand Vin, what we call the Grand Vin, that comes from usually the older vineyard, a year and a half in 55% of French new oak barrels and 45% in French oak barrels, but that have already been used for vinification, to keep the balance and the integration of the oak, in the wine, so that you don't taste the oak. Okay. I also produce a second wine, what we call, it's a strange name though, second wine in Bordeaux, called Franck Félan. The origin of Franck Félan, it's because it's a funny name. Franck Félan was actually the founder's boy's name, his son. And Franck Félan comes from younger vines, doesn't get aged in new French oak, but in older barrels, so that it's very much on the fruit and it's easygoing, and you can taste and enjoy Franck Félan quite fast, like after 2 or 3 years. Whereas Phélan Ségur, sometimes it takes 5 years. But what is great with both wines, and especially with Phélan Ségur de Grand Vin, is that you can enjoy them now quite soon, but you can let them age forever.
Oh, good.
Like we would drink some, for people who like older wines.
I see.
But we would drink like the 82s or the 89s or the 90s right now, but some are drinking the 65 or 61. So they age for a whole lifetime. But now, if you like younger wines with more fresh fruit aromas and a bit of spice and everything, you can drink them a little bit younger, and we will taste 2018, 2017 and 2016.
Very, very good. And I'd like to thank you. And we have the wines here, and let's start to drink it.
Yeah, sure. And please, if you ever travel to Bordeaux, come and visit us. And we have also one specificity here at Phélan Ségur, is that we have our own chef, because eating and drinking is important for us.
Yeah.
So you can come, visit, taste, and stay for lunch with us and enjoy food and wine pairing.
Yeah. Well, let's start for 18.
Let's go. Allez.
18. Cheers.
Cheers.
Santé.
Santé. How do you say in Portuguese?
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Obrigado. Não, um brinde, saúde.
Ah, saúde.
Ah, obrigado,
Saúde.
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 Estou viajando aqui e não bebi.
So this is a majority. You can see that it's so that's the 2018. It's quite a dark color already, quite intense. But it's a wine that is now 7 years old now already. But it's very still rich. 2018 was an incredibly warm summer.
Wow.
Yeah. So we started the harvest on the 24th of September, and the vineyard was actually producing very, very ripe grapes. And you can taste this ripeness in the glass because you have aromas of very dark fruit, very ripe and dark, and a lot of spices, very typical to Phélan Ségur. And sometimes you also have this kind of very different, like dark chocolate aromas as well.
I'm not prepared for this. I never used this in my life.
Oh my God, that's a luxury. You can taste that. I mean, you can. That's that's very ripe. This is a very ripe, sexy, sunny solar wine. The aromas are rich and it's dark cherry and it's very long.
8 seconds, 9 seconds, very good.
Ah, oui.
Very good. And fruits, I think in the vanilla.
Oui, alors a little bit of vanilla coming from the aging. It's a little bit for me.
A little bit.
It's a little bit almost too much, but it's gonna be integrated with the with time, because you have to think that 2018 was bottled during the lockdown, the COVID. So we were looking for everybody. Nobody wanted to work. So we had to get all the bottles because we produce a lot of wine. We produce, you talk cases or bottles?
Bottles.
Bottles. So we would all together, like in 2018, must have produced 350,000 bottles. So it's a lot. So the aging was a little bit too long, by a few months too long. Maybe, that happens, but it's a delicious wine. It's rich and ripe and very solar. It's almost sweet. You have this kind of sweetness, and you have that with a piece of beef. I'm telling you, it's a barbecue beef. It's great because it's rich and it works well.
Yeah, just a little bit, but I see. I can feel, but I love it. I love vanilla. I love it. Tobacco.
Tobacco, yeah, for sure. I have a lot of tobacco, and it's the beginning of the second life of this wine. So coming from fresh aromas to the second stage, of now it's entering the aging stage.
Let's go to the 2017.
Alors, 2017, it's a wine that has a big majority of Cabernet Sauvignon, like 63 or 64% of Cabernet Sauvignon, a touch of Cabernet Franc, which were actually very young because the Cabernet Franc in the blend of Phélan Ségur were planted in 2013, so they were babies. But they were so interesting. They were giving some freshness, but not too much. They had enough density to be integrated into the Grand Vin. And the rest is Merlot. So when you taste Phélan Ségur 17, it's really very characteristic of the great Cabernet Sauvignon of the Médoc. Ah ouais, non, mais that's Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah. It's different. It's different and looks like it's not the same, but looks like wines from Chile great wines from Chile that have a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah, because exactly what is what you I fully understand is that you really taste Cabernet Sauvignon. So the varietal dimension,
varietal, yeah.
Varietal dimension. But then what makes it very Saint-Estèphe and very Médoc is the precision, the balance, the freshness.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is too heavy. It's perfectly ripe. Not too much, not too too less. What is striking when you taste them side by side is the freshness of the 2017. You have the ripeness of the 18, rich, ripe, solar, and this is the 2017 is the precision, the balance, and the freshness.
Yeah. Really. This is more strong. This is more.
Exactement. It's medium body, and it's maybe the most approachable wine that we have. The more approachable wine that we have right now, vintage. But it's so well balanced and so not delicate, but very chiseled and refined.
Very, very good. I love it. Very good.
And that's what it's also interesting is that you are going to taste, it's a vertical 18, 17, 16, but you'll see that the three of them are coming from the same vineyard, are made by the same team, and it's really the vintage that is different. And what makes Bordeaux is also this, is that we are able to express what happened, during the vintage.
Yeah, the climate, né?
Yeah, exactly. Everything. Yeah. And we are not trying to avoid it. On the contrary, we want to keep the style of the property. So the finesse, the precision, the balance, the freshness, but every one being in their vintage. 18 richer, 17 real Cabernet Sauvignon, and 16 I'll let you discover.
Let me see. Let me compare this. Agora ela me pegou. Me apertou sem me abraçar. I think that the tannins are strong. Yeah, I think it's fruit and some trace of spices. Fruit and spice and a little of tobacco and more hard in mouth.
Yeah, more concentrated. Yeah. 2016 is one of the most beautiful vintages we produced in this period. It's a real Cabernet Sauvignon vintage. When we actually vinified and blended it, there was almost a feeling, even if I don't like that word, of perfection. Because everything was in place. I mean, it was ripe, but not too ripe. The tannins were of great quality. You have a lot of density and depth. Everything was there. And for years, this wine, we don't know. It happens on a regular basis. It happens sometimes. It closed down. It shut down, and it was so tight and not relaxed, and suddenly it's been now at least a year and a half that the wine is reopening, and you taste the potential of this wine. This wine has a huge potential of aging. Yeah. So as you were saying, there are a lot of tannins, but they don't dry your mouth. You can taste them, because they are part of the structure of the wine, but they don't dry your mouth. You can taste the quality of these tannins, and they are the key with the balance with the acidity and the alcohol to a long aging capacity. But this is a marvelous wine, really of great quality. It's just that even if it's the oldest of the three of them, it's the one that is actually tasting the youngest.
She looks like youngest.
But this wine is absolutely marvelous, and you have this spice, as you were saying, and there you taste a bit of chocolate, and you have still the character of the fruit, which is starting to evolve, but not too much. And what is striking is that you have this density and power and balance.
Very good. The difference. I like to drink the three together. One to see what happens in my mouth.
Very different.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good wines. How long do you think that this 2016 can rest? Decades?
With decades, at least decades, for sure. No, you have all the ingredients for a very long lasting wine. But when I'm saying very long, it's very long. You have everything in this wine. So right now it's not even a baby, it's the beginning. So if you have a 2016, if you want to open 2016 for lunch or dinner, please make sure that you open and you decant it. You put it in a carafe at least 3 hours or 4 hours before, and you let it in a very cool and not hot, cool, either a rocave or wine fridge or in a cooler room. But it's not gonna make it taste older, but it's gonna let it breathe and let it relax. So it will take all the space in it, and it will give you more pleasure. But you can as well let it rest for 10, 20 years. It depends how you like your wines.
Yeah. Well, let's cheers. Santé, saúde.
Saúde.
2016. Eu agradeço. I'd like to thank you very much for this interview and for this fantastic tasting. Eu agradeço a todos por assistirem mais esse vídeo. Peço que vocês divulguem o nosso canal para todos os amigos, familiares e outras pessoas que curtam vinhos. Um abraço para todos. Tchau. Bye bye. Eu e Verônica. Cheers. Bye.